like you were saying before, when you mentioned that, obviously you wanted to have that feeling of like, can I defend myself? And it was the same sort of cliche story with my brother Nav. So he was that same guy, had never been in any fight whatsoever. Like, obviously I'd been like, I got to that age where I felt like, yeah, I can defend for myself. I can fight anyone. Like, I'm not afraid. Nav was the kind of guy that would just kind of like hang in the background. Like, so all his mates would get into fights and whatnot, and Nav was more like the guy like, oh no, that's not for me. I don't know what I'm made of. I don't think I'm that tough. Wouldn't have a clue what I'm doing. And then shortly after, he ended up getting jumped when he was like 15. He got jumped by a couple of adults when he was walking home. He's spoken about it a few times in a few other interviews and podcasts and whatnot. But yeah, that's a story that you should probably hit him up about.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, 15. I think he was out with two of his mates. They were walking home. He ended up getting jumped, and I remember Mum calling up the next day, like, your brother's in, like, he went to hospital with the boys. They got picked up, I think. I'm not sure how, I don't know if some of them got picked up in an ambulance, but they were basically like left on the side of the road, like left for dead in the middle of the night. But it was like, we always talk about like that moment as a pivotal moment, as a blessing in disguise, because if that had never happened, I don't know if Nav would have like found martial arts, because he then did the same thing. So he wanted to learn like a martial art. He started kickboxing classes in the like local school gym. And it wasn't like to be a fighter. It was just I just want to learn something.
Yeah.
How to throw a punch, how to throw a kick. And now the rest is history. Look where it's taken him now.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a brother of a UFC fighter, I know you're insanely proud, but I do have a question about, do you worry about him?
Nah. I don't. I'm more excited for him. Like,
Yeah.
I just know that the world is his oyster now, and he's got so much more to give. And I feel like he's still yet to be tested. Even he knows. So I can't say I'm worried about him yet. I mean, yeah, obviously, like now that he's made the UFC, all of the fighters are going to be good. But there's something about him, his mentality, his IQ. He's just very smart. He's very composed. Like, a lot more. People don't realize, like, the other fighters, especially overseas, I think just because like he's from New Zealand and his whole fight journey was just fighting guys in this country, the overseas, like the international fighters, all the pros, they kind of like overlooked him and thought like, yeah, I mean, he's like a big fish in a small pond kind of thing. But they don't actually realize how good he is until they actually get in the ring with him. Like,
I watched that Izzy interview with Joe Rogan, and saying that even he was commenting on your brother's fight IQ, and just how quick he can learn. Bro, that's something. That's like, as a fighter, I'd imagine that'd be one of the scariest. I don't know. That's pretty intimidating.
Yeah,
if he can just pick something up after
the
like
way
one
his
session.
mind works, it's like AI, bro. Like, it's like
very analytical.
Yeah, he's like a robot, bro. He just downloads things. Like, I've hit pads with him, and he, even just growing up, like, in any sort of setting, would talk about fighting, and just, he's very intelligent and very, like, it's crazy. You'd have to talk to him in person, and you'd go down the rabbit hole with him, and obviously being at a like one of the best gyms in the world. Like, there's so many good. There's foundation. There's so much good knowledge. We learn all these technical things, but like, you talk to him, and he still can teach you a lot more. That you think, like, just because we're at the biggest gym in the world, like, oh yeah, we know everything now. We've learned everything. But then, like, you talk to him, and he'll still have like little wee. They're like. You'll learn like a lot more other intricacies of the sport as well that we haven't even been taught yet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, who taught you that? Like, where'd that come from? Like, but he just does a lot of research. Yeah, he downloads everything, bro.